I sit cross-legged on the hardwood floor, surrounded by piles of glossy photographs. The Vermont wedding I photographed last weekend exceeded my expectations. The bride's cream gown against the autumn leaves provided the contrast I had envisioned. Perfectly, my favorite shot shows, the couple beneath a canopy of maple trees, their fingers barely touching as leaves drift around them. The phone rings. My mother's name appears on the screen. I hesitate, finger hovering over the answer button. Hi, Mom. I hold the phone between my ear and shoulder while arranging photos into potential album layouts. Courtney. Her voice is sharp and deliberate. I need to talk to you about Lily's wedding. I smile, thinking of my sister's upcoming ceremony in Miami. I was planning to call her myself this week. I have some photography ideas that would be perfect for... You'll ruin your sister's wedding. Don't come. My coffee cup slips from my hand, shattering on the floor. Hot liquid spreads across the photographs, destroying hours of work. I barely notice. What? My voice feels distant, as if it belongs to someone else. Lily needs all the attention, Margaret continues, her tone firm. Your success would overshadow her day. The room spins as I grip my desk. Mom, that doesn't make any sense. I'm her only sister. Everyone has received invitations. Everyone except you. A wave of childhood abandonment crashes over me, being left out of family photos, watching my artwork removed to make room for Lily's drawings, sitting alone at the kids' table while she sat on Dad's lap. Mom, I'm her only sister. I've photographed 180 weddings. I could help. My voice pleads despite myself. This doesn't make sense. Think of it as your gift to Lily, Margaret says, her voice softening into a tone worse than anger. Pity. You've always needed attention. Let your sister have her moment. My throat tightens. Let me talk to Lily. This can't be what she wants. She agrees completely. This was partly her idea. The lie, or maybe the truth, hangs between us. I hang up without saying goodbye and dial my father. He answers on the second ring. Court? Everything okay? Dad, Mom just told me I'm not invited to Lily's wedding. That can't be right. The pause speaks volumes before he answers. It's for the best. Court. His tone echoes the same defeat he had when telling me I couldn't display my photography trophy at age 12 because Lily might feel bad. You don't mean that, I say, pressing my palm to my forehead, trying to steady the room. Your absence is a gift to your sister. Be selfless for once. His words cut through years of pretending this dynamic didn't exist. I think of Ethan framing my first magazine cover, popping champagne at midnight to celebrate when it arrived, his pride so genuine it contrasted sharply with my parents' awkward silence. I glanced down at the ruined photographs on the floor, moments I captured of strangers showing more love than my family has ever shown me. I won't beg for an invitation to my own sister's wedding. The words emerge stronger than I expect. Don't be dramatic, my mother's voice cuts in, probably on speakerphone. Think about someone besides yourself. I've spent my life thinking about everyone else. My voice is steady despite the turmoil inside me, hiding my accomplishments, making myself smaller. All your cousins will be there, my father adds. Everyone's looking forward to celebrating with Lily. Don't make this difficult. The unspoken message is clear. The family story about me, the selfish, attention-seeking older sister, has already been written. They control how everyone else sees me. I get it, I tell myself finally, but I don't really. What I understand is that this cycle will keep repeating unless I break it. My career confidence and personal happiness can't survive if I continue to accept this treatment. I end the call just as the front door opens. Ethan walks in, his camera bag slung over one shoulder, stopping short at the sight of me surrounded by shattered ceramics and coffee-stained wedding photos. Courtney, what happened? His concern is a sharp contrast to the coldness I just faced from my parents. The words spill out through my sobs. The uninvitation. My parents' reasoning, the lifetime of being minimized so my sister could shine. Ethan kneels beside me, carefully avoiding the broken mug shards. They've done this your whole life. It's not fair. He helps me salvage the photos that survived, gently blotting coffee from the prints. We sit in silence for several minutes before he speaks again. Your sister's wedding is about her, he says quietly. But your life? It's about you. I look up, seeing something I've missed for years. The choice isn't just about attending Lily's wedding or staying home. It's about continuing to make myself smaller, or finally standing at my full height. I've spent my life shrinking. I whisper, a new resolve forming. Maybe it's time to stand tall. 3 weeks drag on. I bury myself in work, editing wedding albums until my eyes blur. But my phone remains silent. No calls from Mom, no texts from Lily. The pain of being uninvited festers beneath a thin veneer of normalcy. Then Amanda calls. Court, you won't believe what Lily just posted. Her voice crackles as I balance phone and coffee mug, scrolling through client emails. Amanda has been friends with both me and Lily since high school, navigating the awkward divide between us. I'm not sure I want to know, I say, though curiosity gnaws at me. Miami Beach. $800,000 budget. White tulip centerpieces flown in from Holland. 8-course dinner with a celebrity chef. My stomach twists. $800,000? That's nearly double what they planned. Amanda lowers her voice. Bradley's parents are covering most of it. But there's more. I had lunch with Jenny yesterday. She's in the wedding party. My fingers tighten around the mug. And, I ask, Bradley told Lily he didn't want you there. Said you make everything about yourself. I choked down coffee too fast. He's never even met me. Jenny overheard Lily telling stories about me stealing attention at her Sweet 16, overshadowing her debate win at my scholarship ceremony. None of it is true. The ceremony lasted 10 minutes before my parents insisted we rush to Lily's debate. We didn't even stop for ice cream. After ending the call, I open Instagram. Mom's latest post jumps out. Lily and Bradley surrounded by white roses, champagne flutes raised. Caption: sometimes the kindest thing is to step back and let others shine. The message couldn't be clearer. I spend the afternoon going through family albums in the spare room closet. Patterns emerge I had never noticed. In nearly every family photo, I'm slightly behind Lily, off-center. My grandparents' pride in my first photography exhibit faded after Mom whispered something to them. The time Dad asked me to tone down my excitement over a state photography award because Lily had a rough week, it wasn't isolated. It was systematic. When Ethan returns from filming, he finds me surrounded by photographs. He sits beside me silently, picking up a family beach vacation photo where my smile looks forced. Look at this, he says, opening a laptop. A folder titled Courtney Client Reviews appears. He reads aloud. Courtney Palmer didn't just photograph our wedding. She captured the exact moment I realized I would spend my life with this person. She has a gift for seeing people as they truly are. Another. Every time we look at our wedding album, we relive the day through Courtney's eyes. She made our day magical, and another, dozens more, praising not only my technical skill, but my ability to capture real emotion, a stark contrast to the story my family tells. These people see you, Ethan says simply. Your family doesn't. I stare at the photograph in my hands, 16-year-old me holding my first DSLR, careful not to smile too broadly because Lily had just gotten a B on her math test. All my life, I believed that if I achieved enough, they'd finally be proud. But that was never the deal, was it? The deal was that I would always shrink myself so Lily could shine. That's their story, Ethan says, not yours. Past midnight, my phone buzzes. Lily's name lights up the screen. I hesitate, considering voicemail, but a stubborn hope makes me answer. Hey, she slurs slightly. Are you awake? I am now. I'm at Hannah's bachelorette weekend. Everyone's asleep but me. I miss you, Court, the familiar ache returns. Then, why aren't you invited to my wedding? She sighs. Mom's afraid you'll charm everyone. You always do. Bradley's parents have all these important connections. The wedding has to be perfect. And I'd ruin it by existing. You don't understand. Sometimes it's hard being the favorite. The expectations crush me. I almost laugh at the irony. You're worried about expectations? I've spent my whole life trying not to outshine you. That's not true. It is. And deep down, you know it. Silence stretches. Finally, she says she should go and hangs up. I sit frozen in the dark living room until Ethan finds me an hour later. Sleepy but concerned, he scans my face. What if we got away for the weekend? He suggests, pulling me close. Clear your head. The next evening, we meet my photographer friends, Sophia and Michael, for dinner. I haven't mentioned the wedding, yet somehow they know. Your family can't see your light, Sophia says firmly over pasta, because they're the ones dimming it. Michael leans forward. This isn't about winning or losing, Court. It's about reclaiming your story. How? I ask. By living well. By creating something beautiful, Sophia says. Their words echo as Ethan and I walk home through the cool Seattle night. Stars peek through the city lights, distant but steady. They're right, I finally admit. If I keep chasing their approval, I'll never stop shrinking myself. Ethan squeezes my hand. Then stand tall. I look up at the narrow strip of night sky, feeling a shift inside. Not just hurt or anger, but determination. For 27 years, I've followed their rules, waiting for permission to exist fully. I'm done shrinking, I say, letting it sink into my bones. I spread travel brochures across the coffee table in our cabin rental. After the painful call with my parents, Ethan insisted we escape Seattle for the weekend. Lake Chelan in early summer offers distance from family drama and room to breathe. Court, come look at this. Ethan calls from the deck, where I've been photographing the sunset. On his laptop glows images of a stone villa perched above impossibly blue water. What am I looking at? I ask, settling beside him. Remember Giovanni, the director from the Milan documentary last year? He clicks through more photos. Stone terraces overlooking the Amalfi Coast, flowering vines cascading down ancient walls. It's beautiful, I murmur, my stomach tightening. We've been together 4 years, but never seriously discussed marriage, not because we don't want it, but because we've been postponing our happiness to avoid their disapproval. Ethan meets my gaze. Think about it, Court. How many times have we talked about marrying someday? But we always find reasons to wait. The truth hits me like a physical blow. I've spent my life seeking approval from people who'll never give it. Ethan takes my hand. Look at these dates. September 15th is available. My photographer's eye calculates the angles. Perfect golden hour timing on the Amalfi Coast. 1 month before Lily's wedding. He adds softly. I look at him sharply. You want to marry right before my sister? I think we should marry when and where we want. A wedding that's ours, not a production to please your parents or compete with Lily. I pause. He's right. Even from across the country, I had been living under their expectations, waiting for a mythical moment when they might finally acknowledge, support, or celebrate me. September 15th, I whisper to myself. My mind begins sketching scenes. Soft evening light on aged stone, the scent of jasmine carried by sea breezes, Ethan waiting against an endless blue horizon. Is that a yes? His smile is cautious but hopeful. I laugh, startled by my own reaction. Yes, let's do it. For the first time since that shattering phone call, I feel something beyond hurt, something that feels dangerously like power. The next morning, I wake with clarity. I take my phone onto the deck, careful not to disturb Ethan's sleep. Margaret answers on the third ring. Courtney, is everything okay? Her tone is filled with concern, almost making me laugh. Lately, she only hears from me when there's trouble. Everything's fine, Mom. Better than fine, actually. I keep my voice calm, measured. I wanted to let you know Ethan and I are getting married. Silence stretches across the line. Then what? When did this happen? We've been together 4 years. The timing feels right. I watch an osprey circle above the lake. We found a perfect spot in Amalfi. Just 25 guests, intimate and meaningful. You can't plan a wedding while Lily is planning hers. Don't you see how stressed she is? Her voice edges sharply. In the past, her words might have made me shrink back, apologize, minimize. Today, they pass over me. I'm not asking permission, Mom. I'm sharing news. Our small ceremony won't interfere with Lily's wedding at all. This is exactly what I mean about always needing attention. She snaps. First, you sulk about not being invited to Lily's wedding, and now you're planning your own before hers? I take a deep breath. This isn't about Lily, it's about the life Ethan and I are building. Richard. She calls to my father. Courtney is trying to upstage Lily's wedding. I close my eyes, but instead of the usual shame, I feel calm. I need to go, Mom. I just wanted you to hear it from me. Goodbye. I end the call on my terms. Outside, the osprey dives for a fish, emerging triumphantly. I sit in the morning sun, expecting guilt or doubt, but feel only lightness. Inside, Ethan is making coffee. How'd it go? Exactly as expected, I reply with a smile. She believes I'm trying to upstage Lily, but I didn't apologize, back down, or shrink myself. Ethan hands me a steaming mug. Proud of you. My phone buzzes. Text from Jasmine and Taylor, photographers I contacted last night. Both want to shoot our ceremony. It's about time someone captured my moments instead of everyone else's, I say. Ethan grins. I email Giovanni, the villa host. He's thrilled to host us, noting the light that week is magical. Throughout the day, messages pour in, past clients offering vendor contacts, music suggestions, and help with planning. The outpouring of support leaves me breathless. Late that afternoon, Giovanni's confirmation arrives with a personal note. The villa has hosted many weddings, but rarely for artists who understand how to capture beauty. The house awaits your vision. I study the photos, already planning compositions, lighting, and the exact moment the sunset will illuminate the stone walls. For the first time, I understand why my clients cry when they see my work, the power of being truly seen. That leaves the family, I tell Ethan that evening, watching stars appear over the lake. Invite them and risk drama, or focus on our perfect day without them? He wraps an arm around me. That's your call. Remember, wedding photographer extraordinaire, what matters most in those moments? Authenticity, I answer. Then that's your answer, he says, kissing the top of my head. Whatever feels most authentic to you. I lean against him, watching constellations emerge. For the first time, I realize I am making choices without calculating their effect on my family's approval. If this small act of independence feels so freeing, what might complete freedom from their judgment feel like? I spread my portfolio on the living room floor, arranging wedding albums around me. 1 week has passed since booking Giovanni's villa, and initial excitement has settled into quiet determination. What's all this? Ethan asks, stepping carefully among the albums. Research. I tap the cover of a winter wedding I shot in Vermont. I've photographed 180 weddings, but I've never analyzed what truly makes them meaningful. Our apartment has become a full-fledged command center. Timeline charts cover the dining table, inspiration boards adorn the walls, and color-coded guest lists occupy every flat surface. Industry contacts, florists, caterers, and other vendors have reached out since our announcement, but I filter every offer through one guiding question. Does this truly represent us? Ethan sits cross-legged beside me, flipping through a Napa Valley wedding album. This doesn't feel like planning revenge anymore, he says. It's not revenge, I reply, examining a candid shot of the groom's grandmother dancing with a flower girl. This is about creating something genuine. The brief thrill I felt telling my mother our plans has faded. That small victory wasn't enough. What matters now is crafting something authentic, not reacting to being excluded. I pull out my notebook, filled with notes on how to document our ceremony. Since we both work behind cameras professionally, I want to ensure every moment is captured thoughtfully. This needs to be treated like my most important wedding assignment, I tell Ethan. Every detail needs objective attention. In my shoots, I look for fleeting, unscripted moments, the father's tear, hands intertwining, laughter during vows. Those instances convey more than any posed portrait. Now I'm applying the same approach to our own ceremony. What if we treat it like a documentary? I suggest Ethan's filmmaker instincts kick in. Let's tell our story, not theirs. I nod, already sifting through my portfolio for examples. Which moments truly matter? Reviewing thousands of weddings I've photographed, the same elements consistently resonate. Together, we examine my collection, identifying what creates authenticity, not expensive centerpieces or designer gowns, but the raw emotion couples display when they believe no one is watching. We need Maria and Alex, I decide, thinking of photographer friends who can capture everything without disrupting the day. Ethan notes it. Giovanni emailed about local vendors and legal requirements. The paperwork is due 6 weeks before the ceremony. Harmon. We spend the afternoon coordinating logistics, cross-referencing Italian marriage regulations, and selecting the few guests who have genuinely supported us. Each decision feels like laying a foundation that centers on our future, not my family. Late that evening, the phone rings. My cousin Amanda's name appears. Courtney, she says without greeting. Lily just called, hysterical. She heard about your Italian wedding from Bradley's cousin who follows your friend Maria on Instagram. And your mom is contacting everyone in the family. She's framing this as you sabotaging Lily's special day. I close my eyes, imagining the network expanding, uncles, aunts, cousins, all receiving messages painting me as the villain. What did you tell her? I ask. I said I needed to talk to you first, Amanda replies, her voice softening. Court, are you doing this to get back at them? A week ago, the answer might have been yes. But now, surrounded by our carefully planned designs, I know the truth. We're creating something authentic. Not competing, I say. After hanging up, I find Ethan in the doorway, concern on his face. They're mobilizing the extended family, I note. He places his hands on my shoulders. Does that change anything for us? I glance around our apartment, every detail chosen to reflect our values rather than respond to rejection. No, we keep building. 3 days later, sunlight streams across my open laptop. Giovanni's latest email displays new photos of the Amalfi Coast villa, weathered stone walls draped in vines, a terrace overlooking the Mediterranean, and ancient olive trees for our ceremony. Did you see what Giovanni found? I call to Ethan, who's arranging camera gear in the living room. A local florist specializing in jasmine garlands. The scent will be amazing at sunset. Ethan looks up, smiling. Exactly what we discussed. The documentary crew is confirmed too. Marco and Sarah will handle the main coverage while you get to just be my groom. Over the past weeks, our living room has transformed into a command center. Inspiration boards line the walls with fabric swatches in natural tones, table arrangement sketches, and lighting plans for the golden hour during our vows. No detail is left to chance. I finalized the invitations this morning, I say, sliding a cream-colored envelope across the table. Inside, a handcrafted card features pressed olive leaves and our names in simple calligraphy. Just 25 people, those who have consistently supported us. I watch Ethan examine the invitation, his finger tracing the raised lettering. Perfect. Elegant without being flashy. He meets my gaze. This is about making meaningful memories, not showing off. I nod, feeling a calm certainty replace the frantic energy from our initial planning. We're building something genuine, something that reflects both of us as a couple and as individuals. Every choice feels right, unlike the constant attempts to satisfy my family. My phone buzzes. Lily's name appears. My stomach tightens as I read her message. The Italian consulate said you filed for a marriage license. Why are you trying to steal my spotlight? My hands tremble as I set the phone down. She knows about the license. I show Ethan. How would she even find out? I ask. Your mother must have connections, he says quietly. Or they've been watching closely. What if they interfere? I can't stop the question. What if they contact Giovanni or try to turn our guests against us? Ethan takes my hands, his grip steady and warm. Then we adapt. We've already chosen who matters. The people coming to Italy genuinely support us. Another buzz, this time from my cousin Jenna. Aunt Margaret called asking about your Italian wedding. She seems upset. What's going on? Then another message from a college friend. Your dad just reached out about some wedding in Italy. Are you okay? I close my eyes. The walls feel like they're closing in. They're mobilizing the extended family, just like with the Miami wedding. The familiar pattern of pressure and guilt washes over me. They're contacting everyone, I whisper, sounding selfish. That was always their plan, Ethan says. The question is, do we respond or stay focused on our vision? I glance at our carefully crafted plans, the result of weeks of thoughtful effort. I refuse to get pulled into their drama. This isn't about them. Later, after securing our venue's privacy settings and alerting our guest list about potential family interference, I step onto the balcony. Seattle's lights flicker below. Despite the brewing storm, I feel calm. My phone rings. Giovanni's name flashes. Courtney, I received a strange call today, he begins, his Italian accent heavier than usual. A woman claiming to be your mother asked many questions about the ceremony. My heart sinks. I'm so sorry, Giovanni. My family situation is complicated. Don't worry, he says firmly. I told her nothing. Your day will be perfect. Italian privacy laws protect you, and I've informed my staff. No uninvited guests will interfere. Relief floods me. Thank you. Ethan joins me on the balcony, wrapping his arms around my waist. Everything okay? Giovanni handled my mother perfectly. He's taking extra security just in case. Let's focus on us, Ethan says, steady in my ear. What happens in Miami doesn't matter. Standing in the growing darkness, I realize how much I've changed. 6 months ago, my mother's call would have sent me into guilt and doubt. Now I feel centered, ready to create something beautiful instead of reacting to attempts to undermine me. The time for preparation is ending. Next week, we board a plane to Italy. Our careful planning will finally come to life. I can almost smell the jasmine and olive groves, feel the warm Mediterranean breeze as we exchange vows. Whatever storm my family stirs, we are ready. A week later, my phone buzzes at dawn. I've been organizing the photography timeline for hours. Ethan sleeps beside me, steady and deep. The caller ID reads Mom, and my stomach tightens. I take my coffee to the balcony. Hello? You need to cancel Italy. Margaret's voice is sharper than usual, dangerous. That's not happening. I watch a seagull land nearby. Listen carefully, Courtney. If you go through with this, you'll never be welcome in this family again. The seagull flies off. My fingers tighten around the mug. I don't understand why my wedding threatens you so much. Don't twist this. You know exactly what you're doing. Her rage vibrates through the line. Then a familiar male voice cuts in. Dad, they put me on speakerphone. You've always been selfish, Richard says, disappointment sharp in the morning air. I move inside. I'm marrying the person I love in a place meaningful to us. How is that selfish? Lily's been hospitalized with anxiety because of you, Margaret says. My heart stops. What? Is she okay? As if you care. Her voice drips with venom. Her doctor says the stress you're causing could affect her long-term health. The lie hangs in the air. I've seen Lily's Instagram from her Bahamas bachelorette, laughing on a yacht, cocktail in hand. That's not true, I say quietly. She pushed herself to go because she didn't want to disappoint her bridesmaids. My phone buzzes. Cousin Rachel. Is it true you're stealing Lily's thunder? Everyone's talking about it. Go, my dad adds strategically. Your grandmother may not be around for another wedding. She's heartbroken you chose a foreign ceremony she can't attend. My grandmother hasn't left Florida in 15 years, according to Aunt Pamela. Your cousin Rachel sides with us. Margaret adds, so do the Petersons. Even Julie thinks you're being harsh. Julie, my childhood best friend who moved to Australia 5 years ago and hasn't spoken to my mother since. You're lying, I respond, surprised by how steady my voice sounds. Julie hasn't spoken to you in years. Another call beeps through from Uncle Frank, followed by a text from my mother's neighbor, Susan. Are you sure about this Italian wedding? It sounds expensive and unnecessary. The coordinated pressure is almost impressive. Cancel Italy, Margaret repeats, or accept that you're no longer part of this family. My throat tightens. Is that what Lily wants to? This is coming from all of us. You've pushed your sister to her breaking point. I walk to the wall where Ethan and I have pinned our wedding plans. Local olive branches and jasmine flowers. The cliffside view at sunset, our handwritten vows. I touch the corner of a photo showing Giovanni's villa glowing in golden light. I'll think about what you've said, I tell them. Not because I'm considering canceling, but because I need the call to end. After hanging up, I sit at our kitchen counter, hands trembling despite my calm words. Ethan emerges from the bedroom, immediately reading the situation. Your parents? He asks, taking my hand. I nod. They've escalated. Complete family excommunication if we don't cancel. He pours coffee and sits beside me. Are you okay? I'm angry, I admit. They're coordinating a full-scale attack, rallying relatives and friends to pressure me. I show him the texts. They even claimed Lily's been hospitalized with anxiety. His jaw tightens. That's a new low, he mutters. I think we should call Adam about security for the ceremony, I say. Just in case, Ethan nods. Already ahead of you. Spoke with him yesterday. He knows a local guy in Amalfi who can be discreet. I look at him surprised. What? I heard your mom on the phone with Aunt Carol last week. I knew this was coming, he says, squeezing my hand. This is about us, Court, not them. We spend the day finalizing details. I call our photographer friends to confirm travel arrangements. Ethan contacts the videographer who'll document everything in a cinematic style. Giovanni emails confirming the jasmine and olive branch setup. By sunset, we've adapted our plans to handle potential disruptions without compromising our vision. The villa will have discreet security. Our guest list stays the same. 25 people who've consistently supported us. Just after midnight, my phone rings. Lily, I answer cautiously. Hello? Did Mom call you? Her voice is strained, far from her usual confident tone. Yes. A long pause. I didn't ask her to, I finally say, waiting. Is it beautiful? She asks. The question catches me off guard. Yes, it overlooks the Mediterranean. Sunset light is perfect for photos. She makes a small sound, almost longing. 25 guests? Just people who matter to us, I add. Another pause. Part of me wishes I were having her wedding instead of mine. She admits softly, 230 people I barely know, mostly Bradley's family. For the first time, I feel something beyond anger or hurt. I feel sympathy for her. It's not too late to change things, I suggest, knowing she won't. You know I can't, she says, voice hardening. Mom would never forgive me. Mom's forgiveness seems conditional these days. Lily laughs without humor. Always has been. I should go. Bradley's waiting. Just take good pictures, okay? The line goes dead. The next morning, Ethan and I stand in the airport terminal with our luggage. Our flight to Naples boards in 20 minutes. From there, we'll drive along the Amalfi Coast to Giovanni's villa. Last chance to back out, Ethan says. Eyes telling me he knows I won't. I look down at our boarding passes, then at the photo on my phone, Giovanni's villa at sunset. The perfect backdrop for a photographer's wedding. I think of my mother's ultimatum, my father's disappointment, my sister's whispered confession. No turning back, I say, slipping my hand into his. We board the plane and find our window seats. As the plane taxis forward, I go over our wedding vows one final time, words that honor the family we've chosen, words that reflect the life we're creating, not the one I'm leaving behind. Ethan leans over, pressing a gentle kiss to my temple. This is about us, not them. The plane accelerates down the runway and lifts into the sky. Below, Seattle shrinks until it vanishes beneath the clouds. Ahead lies Italy, Giovanni's villa, and the ceremony that will change everything. I close my eyes and finally let myself feel excitement. No matter what happens with my family, in 3 days I will marry Ethan under the golden Mediterranean light, surrounded by people who truly know me. No turning back. I whisper this again, now with certainty instead of fear. On our wedding day, I stand at the edge of Giovanni's villa terrace, inhaling the scent of jasmine that winds through the iron railings. The September sun hangs low over the Amalfi Coast, bathing everything in the golden light I've spent years chasing through my camera lens. Is it everything you hoped for? Ethan asks, sliding his arm around my waist. Better, I whisper, caught between awe and disbelief. The Mediterranean stretches before us, a deep blue canvas dotted with returning fishing boats. Behind us, our 25 guests mingle on the stone patio, where white wooden chairs face an arbor draped in olive branches and jasmine vines. Giovanni approaches, his weathered face alight with genuine pleasure. The light is perfetto today, he says, gesturing to the horizon. In 40 years filming here, I've never seen it more beautiful. He squeezes my hand. Your photographer friends are setting up now. The conditions are perfect. I nod, speechless. After years of capturing other couples' memories, today my vision shapes my own wedding. James and Vanessa, photographers I've worked with for years, take positions at opposite ends of the terrace, not competing, but complementing each other, capturing different angles of the same genuine moments. 10 minutes, Ethan's friend Marcus announces, adjusting his camera rig for the documentary filming we arranged. No staged poses, just truth. I retreat to the villa's master bedroom, where my simple silk dress hangs by the window. The fabric sways in the breeze, not a princess gown like Lily's, but exactly what I would choose for my most important client. As I slip it on, I think of all the brides I've photographed, their nervous excitement, their transformative joy, and I finally understand. When I step onto the terrace, the guests rise. Their faces, friends who've celebrated my successes when family didn't, clients turned friends, colleagues who respect my vision, reflect the person I truly am, not the diminished version my family insists upon. The guitarist begins playing Northern Sky by Nick Drake, not the wedding march, but a song Ethan and I discovered on our first road trip. I walk toward him alone, no one giving me away because I belong to myself first. Ethan watches, his expression open with wonder, not polite admiration, but the genuine recognition of someone choosing joy. The officiant welcomes everyone as the sun nears the horizon. The timing is perfect, golden hour. Light spills across the terrace in rich, warm tones that need no filter. Marriage isn't just the joining of two people, the officiant says. It's the creation of a new story, written together day by day. Ethan's voice stays steady as he recites his vows. I promise to see you, not just look at you, to celebrate your success as my own, to build a home where your light never dims, My hands tremble slightly as I unfold my paper. I promise to stand beside you, to create beauty without apology, to remember that love requires no permission. As we exchange rings, the Mediterranean turns to liquid gold behind us. James shifts positions, capturing the moment the light catches the simple bands, while Vanessa crouches low, framing us against the coastline. They move with precision, executing our plan perfectly. When the officiant pronounces us married, applause erupts from our chosen family. No polite claps, only genuine celebration from people who want us to succeed. During the intimate dinner that follows, our documentary team captures authentic laughter, spontaneous embraces, and quiet moments of connection that no marketing campaign could ever manufacture. Giovanni rises for a toast, his Italian accent thick with emotion. "I've seen many American movies about weddings," he says, drawing smiles. "Always there is drama, always someone objects. But true love," he pauses, looking at me, "requires the courage to claim your own story." I glance at Ethan, who squeezes my hand under the table. My story, my life, not a supporting role in someone else's. The evening unfolds exactly as I imagined. The guitarist strums gentle melodies as twilight settles. Strings of lights illuminate the terrace, where friends dance freely, unself-conscious. No obligatory traditions, no staged cake cutting, no forced dances with fathers who undermine you. "Hey," James approaches, his camera slung at his side. "I captured something earlier you should see." He shows me the display. Ethan and I in profile. Hands joined, the Mediterranean stretching behind us in hues of gold and blue. Jasmine vines frame us perfectly, and the light forms a natural halo around us. It's a composition worthy of my highest-paying clients. "Can I post this one?" James asks. "It's special." I nod, suddenly at a loss for words. As James walks off to upload the photo, Vanessa appears beside me. "That's going to break the internet," she predicts, nodding after him. "It's just a wedding photo," I reply automatically, the habit of downplaying my achievements lingering. "No," she corrects softly. "It's art." Later, Ethan and I share a quiet moment on the terrace edge when my phone buzzes incessantly. James's single photo has gone viral. 800 comments already, Ethan murmurs, scrolling. "Listen to this one. Most beautiful ceremony I've ever seen. From Helena Baxter." "The Helena Baxter?" I ask, stunned. Her work inspired me to pursue this career. Her wedding photography book sits on my desk at home. Ethan nods, scrolling further. The Italian tourism board reshared it with a Wedding of the Year caption. Notifications continue flooding in. Industry professionals asking about the photographer, magazines requesting permission to feature it, and strangers moved by the authentic joy captured in the image. "This is what they feared," Ethan says quietly. "Not that you'd ruin Lily's wedding, but that you'd prove them wrong." I lean against him, watching stars emerge over the darkening Mediterranean. For years, I've documented others' happiest moments. Today, I created my own. Marcus approaches, camera rolling. "You've created something extraordinary, Court," he says. Giovanni joins, his face serene in the soft evening light. "Your vision has honored this place," he says simply. "Many Americans come to take from Italy's beauty. You've added to it." As night deepens, James returns, excitement glowing. "You need to see this. Your photo just hit 1 million views. InStyle requested your contact info." I check my phone. Messages from relatives who had declined our invitation appear, expressing admiration and, perhaps, regret. But their approval no longer matters. The day's success isn't measured in views, comments, or professional accolades. It's measured in the authentic joy captured by James, in the chosen family surrounding us, and in the fact that for the first time, I didn't diminish myself to make someone else feel bigger. As midnight approaches, Ethan and I slip into a quiet corner of Giovanni's garden. Stars scatter across the Italian sky like diamonds on velvet. "How does it feel?" he asks softly, I reflect. In this moment, I am not Courtney, the second choice, the attention seeker, or the one meant to be diminished. I am simply Courtney, artist, partner, creator of my own story. "It feels like stepping into the best photograph I've ever taken," I reply. 6 months later, sunlight streams through our bedroom window, casting golden patterns across the sheets. The familiar tightness regarding my family has softened. My phone buzzes. 3 major wedding magazines want feature stories on what blogs now call the Amalfi Revolution. I smile, remembering that moment the photo went viral. Sunset bathing Ethan and me in amber light, Our hands clasped, vows exchanged. Giovanni's ancient olive trees framing the scene. Still can't believe it, Ethan murmurs, rolling toward me, brushing my wedding band with his thumb. Which part? I ask. All of it, he says, gesturing to my laptop where the Netflix contract sits open. A documentary on redefining wedding photography. That's you, Court. They want to follow you for a year, documenting your authentic storytelling. My phone buzzes again, this time a text from Lily. Unlike my mother's cold silence or my father's formal congratulations, Lily has reached out since her wedding. Yours looked more like you than mine looked like me, reads her latest message. I set the phone aside. These messages, small as they are, reaffirm what I've always known. Authenticity matters more than perfection. Life's transformation feels surreal. I sleep without seeking approval, make decisions without second-guessing, and trust my eye completely when reviewing client galleries. We should call Giovanni, Ethan says, standing. The foundation paperwork should be nearly ready. The love without permission. Foundation, our new venture, supporting artists facing family disapproval, is about to begin. Giovanni became more than just our wedding venue host. He is now a partner in supporting photographers, whose visions are often undervalued. I have the family I chose. Saying the words aloud feels like grounding a truth I've carried for years. Later that afternoon, I sit in my studio reviewing portfolios from prospective wedding clients. My waitlist now extends 6 months, filled only with couples who appreciate my documentary approach. No longer am I saying yes to every assignment or concealing my vision to please others. On my wall hangs a series of family photographs I once kept tucked away in drawers. I look at them now without sorrow. My 12-year-old self holding my first photography trophy. My graduation with my camera around my neck while my family focused on Lily. These images tell a story of growth, not loss. The contrast with that day 7 months ago is striking. When my mother called to uninvite me from Lily's wedding, I sat among shattered coffee cups and ruined prints. Today, I sit surrounded by international awards and images that reflect my truth. My assistant knocks softly before entering. Your 3 o'clock is here, the young photographer from Portland. Jessica Thomas steps in, clutching a portfolio case, hands trembling slightly. At 22, she mirrors my younger self, talented but uncertain, her eyes seeking affirmation. She explains that her parents view photography as a hobby, not a career, and want her to finish an accounting degree. 5 years ago, I might have offered sympathy and empty encouragement. Today, I see an opportunity to break the cycle. Your vision matters, I tell her, locking eyes. Don't shrink it for anyone. I explain the mentorship program I launched, connecting emerging photographers with experienced professionals who understand the pressures of family expectations. Your light doesn't dim anyone else's, I tell her, words I wish I had heard years ago. Jessica leaves with a place in our workshop series, tears in her eyes. As the door closes, Ethan walks in with his camera. Documenting another transformation? I ask, nodding at his lens. The foundation needs footage for the website launch. He sets up his tripod. Already, 3 photographers have gained exhibitions through our grants. The Chosen Family series premieres next month, and I reflect on how drastically the frame has shifted. My mother once told me to make myself smaller for Lily's wedding. Instead, I created something true to my vision that allows others to stand taller. That evening, I stand before a crowd to accept the International Vision Award for Wedding Photography. The applause fills the room as I approach the podium. The audience includes colleagues who captured our Amalfi ceremony, clients whose authentic moments I've photographed, and Jessica, proudly seated in the front row. The frames we choose define the stories we tell. I begin, voice steady. For years, I allowed others to shape my story through their limitations. I accepted being cropped out, pushed aside, my colors muted. The room grows silent. Authenticity isn't selfish, I continue. It is the greatest gift you can offer yourself and others seeking permission to shine. Holding the award, I recall that broken coffee cup, the ruined photographs, the moment everything shifted. The truth is clear. When others try to make you smaller, that is the moment to stand tallest.